February, 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 February. How have I been pronouncing it? February, 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 Febru. Kasi may R, di ba? February, February, February. But how do you pronounce? Is it silent R? Grabe, yung tanda ko lang. February, 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 February. Pwede bang February? Please do not bash me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Alam ko February, di ba? February. February, February, February. February, 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 February. Shucks! Dito ako nasa stock. Ang dami ko pa librong pag-uusapan. Stuck ako sa February. Sa Feb. Ay, Feb na lang. Oh my gosh. Feb. So the first book I read in the month of Feb Hello everyone, I'm 𝐂𝐤𝐦𝐿 and welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am back with another monthly wrap-up. As you can see from the color of my outfit and from my flower earring, and of course from the thumbnail and the title of this video, we're going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of February. So this is our second month of the year. I know it's already April and I'm only posting this now, but better late than never, right? I recently just decided to make a wrap-up of all the books that I read per month. I hope that you liked my first sit-down video, which is my January wrap-up. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching that. In January, we only read 3 books, so that was a quick video. This month, I read 5 books. I don't know how long this video will be, but I hope that, you stick around. Grab a drink or a snack. I still have my matcha here because I'm filming this on the same day. Just change outfits. Halata ba? So without further ado, let's get started. Again, I don't know if you watched the first video, but I have here my reading journal. I list down here my reviews for each book that I've read this year. The first book that I read in the month of Feb is An Academic Affair by Jodi McAlister. Guys, I did not know anything about this book. I thought I discovered it, but apparently it's a bit known. It's not as hyped as other booktube books, but I really thought no one was talking about this book. I read the premise of it and I liked it. That's why I started reading it. I was not influenced by anyone to read this book. It was a surprise to me when I learned that a lot other people also love this book. I thought that it was my discovery. So I don't know if it's your first time hearing about this book, but this is my first 5-star of the year. Actually, it took a while before I rated this book. Parang trinay ko muna siyang i-digest for a few days before I rated it because I didn't know what to rate it after reading it. But then I decided on a 5-star rating because I couldn't stop thinking about it. Days or weeks after listening to the book. So I read this from February 1 to February 4, 2026. From January to March, all the books that I read, I consumed through audiobook form. So I'm just gonna tell you the length of it. So this one was 10 hours and 6 minutes. So a little over 10 hours lang naman siya. It didn't seem that long, to be honest, for me. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the audiobook. Gosh, the audiobook. An Academic Affair follows Sadie Shaw and Jonah Fisher, academic rivals since undergrad, as they fight for a highly coveted teaching opportunity that turns into a marriage of convenience so that both of them gets the job they need. Basically, they've always been academic rivals since undergrad, as in talagang neck to neck sila. And now, if you know anything about academia, talagang cutthroat yung industry na yon. Meron job na nag-open, like the perfect job opening for either of them. Kaso nga lang, it's just for one person. Nag-aagawan sila doon. However, meron palang clause yung job na yon na they're allowing partner hire. So both of them get into a fake relationship. Aside from marriage of convenience, it's also a fake dating. They've always hated each other and now they have to pretend to be married to each other. So doon umiikot yung story. It's a romance novel, what do you expect? But oh my gosh, was I eating it up? Paano ko ma-explain? This book just had me on a chokehold. Kasi talaga, I couldn't stop thinking about it. If I'm not listening to it, I'm thinking about listening to it. The narrators really did an amazing job. I said here, this was so fun to listen to. I really enjoyed male main character's point of view. I didn't expect to love this as much as I do now. I couldn't stop thinking about it days, even weeks after. The yearning of the male main character and the slow burn really did it for me. Though the conflict with Sadie's sister Chess was sometimes frustrating, it all tied up satisfactorily in the end. If you like a slow burn romance where the male main character yearns, as in yearns for the female main character, yung ayaw niyo yung parang nag-guess pa yung male main character kung gusto niya ba yung girl. I prefer when the male main character knows that they're attracted to the female main character. Mas prefer ko yun kasi ayoko na ng denial. Gusto ko talaga yung parang they can't help but fall in love and be attracted and want to be near the female main character. Ganun ito. As in, alam nyo ba guys, seryoso, throughout the month of February till March, I was looking for a physical copy of this book. Nakapunta ako sa 5 fully booked branches, iba't ibang national bookstore branches, just to ask for a copy of this. It was out of stock everywhere. One day, I asked if they had this, and they did, and they have one last copy. So I got it. Charan! I feel like nakuha ako ng cover ng umpisa. Them holding stacks of books, that caught my eye, and then I read the premise of the book. I was like, fine, okay, next on my TBR. As in, so good. Read this book. Really enjoyed this book. Alam niyo bang umabot siya sa point na pagkatapos ko siyang basahin and a few days after, gusto ko kagad i-read. Gusto ko kagad pakinggan ulit yung audiobook. As in hanggang ngayon, filming this, I still wanna reread the book. But I try to read book at least once a year lang. But I already know that next year I will be rereading this book. And next year we will be talking about this book again. So please read this if you're interested in what I have said so far about this book and you want a slow burn, academic, rival, to lovers, marriage of convenience, he falls first, romance book, read this now. So perfect kasi I started the month of love with a great romance novel. So yeah, I rated An Academic Affair 5 out of 5 stars. The second book that I read for the month of Feb is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I don't know how much I've talked about this book already, not on YouTube of course, but on TikTok, I've been talking about this book since 2024. If you know me, you know that this is one of my favorite books ever. I just feel like this is the perfect summer romance book. It just has everything you need. Before I start gushing about the book, I'm gonna tell you the details. So I read this from February 4 to February 12, 2026. The audiobook length is 11 hours and 43 minutes. The audiobook narrators did a really good job. If you've read this before in print form, I highly suggest listening to the audiobook because it was done really well. This is book 3 of the Part of Your World series. You don't have to read the first 2 books of the series before reading this book. This is a standalone series, and when it's a standalone series, some of the characters are connected but the story isn't, so you can read whichever book first. I personally read on a descending order. I read Just for the Summer first, and then Yours Truly, and then Part of Your World, so it doesn't matter which book you read first from the series. Honestly, I suggest starting off with this book because it was just so good. It will hook you into this world. Nagsistart na kagad ako mag-recommend. Hindi pa nga tapos ang details, but Just for the Summer follows Emma Grant and Justin Dahl, who share a curse where their exes always find a soulmate after breaking up with them. They form a deal to fake date to break each other's curse just for the summer. Explain ko siya kasi itong plot summary ko sa reading journal ko, that's just for me who's already read the book. But if I am gonna hook you onto this book, I have to tell you what story is about. They meet through a subreddit called Am I the Asshole? I feel like we've all heard of that subreddit before. With Justin and Emma, they don't know why, but for some reason, every time they break up with someone, suddenly that ex finds their soulmate. So, kunyari, tayong dalawa, we're in a relationship. Once we break up, you'll find your soulmate. Ganon. Every time it happens, they think that if they date each other, it will cancel out their curse. For them, it's a curse kasi they're always the person before the one. Emma is a travel nurse. She moves to where Justin is, which is in Minnesota, and then they date just for the summer. However, of course, with all fake dating romances, over time, it doesn't seem so fake anymore. This is the kind of book that will hook you in the first page. Onti lang kasi mga ganun libro eh. Most of the time, after a few pages, siguro until page 50 or until after the first chapter, saka ka lang ma-hook. This book, this will hook you in the first page. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it tackles a lot of topics. Some people say that it's a bit heavy for a romance book. I feel like it's just a well-rounded romance book. Like it has everything you need, deals with real-life issues. The premise of how they meet and how the fake dating works doesn't seem that realistic, but their love for each other and their care for each other and what they're going through with their life or their current situation is realistic. I swear, try. As in, try nyo lang kahit one chapter lang. Try nyo lang yung first chapter. And if you don't like it, fine, don't read it. But if you like it, if you like the first chapter, if you find it interesting, funny, continue, and I swear, you won't be disappointed. With all books naman whenever you read a book that has so much hype, parang you get disappointed when it doesn't deliver as much as you want it to. Parang ako with other books that are so hype, when I hear so much good things about a certain book, after ko basahin pa ng, okay lang naman siya, like, di naman siya ganun kaano. So, I feel like medyo kasalanan ko din kasi yung hype na binibigay ko sa kanya parang sobra. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I read this back in 2024 for the first time, and since then, every year I reread this because this was also my book club's Feb book pick. I am part of a book club named Just for the Readers PH, and fun fact, the book club name Just for the Readers was from Just for the Summer because this book just holds a special place in my heart because around the time that I finished reading this, I also met my now boyfriend Anton. This was also the first book that he read to me. This was just really special for the both of us. So when we were thinking of a book club name, it just came natural. It's Just for the Readers from Just for the Summer. I don't know how else to convince you with reading this book. If you've read this, let me know your thoughts below. Again, please no spoilers. We are a spoiler-free discussion. If you want to talk about this with spoilers, put a spoiler warning or just message me on Instagram or comment on TikTok or whatever. But if you've been seeing this everywhere and you still haven't read it, let this be your sign to finally read this book. If you haven't read any 𝐲𝐻𝐸 Jimenez book, I suggest starting with this one. If you just want a good read, this is my second 5 stars of this year. So, diba, 2 5 stars na kagad at the start of February. I was having a really great time reading Slump Cannot Be Found. So, the third book that I read for the month of Feb is Still Mad About You by Liz Maverick. This is my first Audible original audiobook. This is one of their free books, like free audiobooks if you are subscribed to them. The length of this book was only 2 hours and 3 minutes, but it took me 4 days to read this book. I read it from February 13 to February 17. Longtime academic rivals Danny and Asher gets a second chance at love as they are forced to team up in planning their high school reunion in New York. You heard it, academic rivals. I was looking for the high that an academic affair gave me. I was craving another academic rivals to lovers. I decided to give this book a try and it disappointed me, honestly. I feel like that's why it took me 4 days to read. I was really trying to get through with it. I almost DNF'd this book. I almost gave up on it. But I was like, 2 hours lang. Atali, a little over 2 hours lang. You can push through it. You're having a good month. At least push through it. Finish it. I'll read you my review. My first Audible original scripted rom-com, Dolby Atmos 2. I wanted to give it a try since I needed to satisfy my post-academic affair, academic rivals stroke thirst. This was just okay. I don't know if the whole sound effects and overly voiced out script isn't for me, but I had to push myself to finish this because I wasn't really enjoying it. The FMC was annoying, like, girl, get up. Oh my gosh, okay. The FMC was annoying, like, girl, get up, lol. Okay, but probably won't reread, just meh. I rated this 2.5 out of 5 stars. Oh gosh, pag umabot na siya ng 2 to 275 stars, ayun yung mga books na parang talagang I debated on DNFing or not finishing kasi something about the story or the characters annoyed me too much to not make me want to continue the book. With this one, I was just used to the usual audiobooks na tamang acting lang. Like, there are barely any sound effects pag audiobooks eh. Talagang binabasa lang yung libro and it's just the voice acting. I think with this, it was just too much for my ears. Merong mga, paano ko ba-explain? Para siyang ang dami niyang sound effects. The female main character annoyed me so much because she was just so giggly and so down bad over the guy. Like, girl, I thought you hated him. I thought we didn't like him. Bakit pagkausap mo siya, parang baliw na baliw ka sa kanya? They had a misunderstanding in high school. Parang hindi nga siya rivals. Parang they weren't really academic rivals. I feel like the premise of the story was she was an academic achiever and then the guy was just popular. He was the popular jock. And then they both ran for student council president, but the guy won. So, ayun yung parang rivals sila. I feel like that's not enough for you to tell me na academic rivals kayo. Kasi for me, if you're gonna be academic rivals, cutthroat dapat, like pareho kayong overachievers. Consistent yung rivalry nyo with each other. But for this, I feel like it was just a one-time thing. She was just bitter with him winning the student council elections. Parang bitter siya na hindi. Kasi kinikilig lang siya dun sa guy all the time. And I feel like the scripted audiobook, yung parang maraming sound effects, I don't think it's for me. I would try another one, but probably not from this author anymore. So yeah, Still Mad About You is a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The fourth book that I read for the month of February is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. So this book I actually have in my collection. It's down there. I don't know if you can see it. It's here. It's this one. I have this goal in 2026 to read more of my physical TBR, and this was one of them. But as mentioned, I don't read physical books as much anymore. So when I saw that this was available in audiobook, I read it because I wanted to know what the story was all about. Because Because when I got that book, I think I bought that back in 2020 or 2021. It was years ago. And I remember it was Book Talk that made me buy it. They said na para siyang enemies to lovers. I read this book from February 17 to February 23. So 5 days. The audiobook length is 10 hours and 11 minutes by Caitlin Davis. So this book follows Alessandra, who plans to gain power by getting the Shadow King's attention, marrying him, then killing him to take his kingdom for herself. Now, this is my review. Had to push myself to finish this one as well because I had the physical copy. The FMC is really, really unlikable. She's very pretentious, foolish, and flat, very one-dimensional. The plot was boring and predictable. It all felt very childish to me. Even the concept of the Shadow King was confusing. They're both unlikable. The plot was all over the place. Would let go of my copy. Disappointing read. Yeah, this was a very disappointing read for me. I rated this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars as well. I remember my main qualms about this book was that I don't know if it was just the audiobook narration, but she sounded really pretentious. I felt like it was a lot of telling than showing. Yung world building was not that good. The characters felt really flat for me. Not just the female main character, but also the male main character. Even the plot was disappointing. I expected a lot more, but that was just it. Ang daming unresolved things. Some would say plot holes. Baka lang hindi ako yung target audience. Maybe this was really for young adult audience, but at the same time, parang hindi eh. Parang hindi siya young adult eh. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung target market ito, but definitely not me. Both of them are evil. They do deserve each other. If I didn't have the book, I would have DNF'd it already. But since I had the physical copy of the book, I pushed through with it and it did not get better. I wanted to like this book, but I didn't. Maybe I'm just not a target audience, I think. Feel ko ayun lang, hindi lang ako yung target audience niya. I rated The Shadows Between Us a 2.5 out of 5 stars. We're down to the 5th and last book that I read for this month, which is The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. I actually have a physical copy of this book. I think it's on that bookshelf. I think this is the quickest that I've read a book so far. I read this from February 23 to February 24. I read this in less than 24 hours. It's a total of 10 hours. It's not that short. I was still able to finish it in less than a day, which props to me and props to the author for making it so addicting. So this is the second book of the 𝐂𝐸𝐻 series. So if you know the series, it's the 𝐂𝐸𝐻, the Bride Test, and the Heart Principle. I have those 3 books in that bookshelf. I read the 𝐂𝐸𝐻 back in 2022, I think, and I really loved it. I think I rated it 5 stars. I really enjoy Helen Hoang's writing. I don't know why it took me 3 or 4 years to read another book of hers, but I finally did. This book follows 𝐂𝐸𝐻 Tran coming from the slums of Ho Chi Minh City to America to seduce Kai, who believes he can't feel love. 𝐂𝐸𝐻 was chosen by his mother to live with him for 3 months. Para siyang mail order bride, 𝐂𝐸𝐻 Tran, the female main character, is from Ho Chi Minh City. And she's very pretty. She got pregnant really early. She was a janitress in this, I don't know what establishment it was. A woman came in asking her about herself, complimenting her with her looks, and just getting to know her. So this woman, who turns out to be the male main character's mother, offers her to go to America to seduce Kai, which is the male main character. Kai has never had a girlfriend. Kai has never fallen in love. Etong mom niya parang naging concerned na for him, parang wants him to be happy, to have the right partner. So nag-intervene na yung mom niya. That's why her mom went back to Vietnam to find a bride for him. Of course, this was not with his consent. 𝐂𝐸𝐻 goes to America. Kai and his mother had a deal na actually give this woman a try, and then I will never meddle with your love life again. Parang last resort na ng mom niya si 𝐂𝐸𝐻. It's not really a marriage of convenience. I'm not sure if it falls under the fake dating category, but it is mail order bride thing. That's what most people are describing it. Parang at the end of that 3-month trial period, if Kai still doesn't like 𝐂𝐸𝐻, 𝐂𝐸𝐻 is gonna go back to Vietnam. This is the shortest time I've read a book. Not even a day. This was very interesting to read. A cute and heartfelt romance. Helen Hoang's writing did not disappoint. It tackles a bunch of issues like teenage pregnancy, love with autism, and other cultural issues. The ending felt a bit rushed, and I'm not gonna read the rest of my review because it has spoilers, but I just remember really liking this book. I feel like this would be a good read, but also a good listen. However format you prefer to read it, I think it will be fine. I just remember the start of this book being really sad because you see the effects of teenage pregnancy on a family or a person that's not well off or hasn't finished their education and not having a stable, loving partner with with you through that. I feel like it tackles that aspect of teenage pregnancy and the reality of it well. Esme had different reasons din naman for going to the Americas. So, meron din siyang mga gustong gawin kaya siya pumayag. And also just the opportunity for her family to have a better life. Ayun din yung isa sa mga naging motivations niya. This is not really a funny book. It's more heartwarming. It will tug your heartstrings in a different way. What I liked about this book is the representation of people with disabilities as well. I don't think it's that common for a main protagonist of a romance book to have some sort of disability. So I like how that was represented in this book. Personally, I enjoyed hearing about Kai and Esme's love story, and I feel like you will too. Helen Hoang is a very underrated author. Merong recall yung name niya, but her books are not as hype as other TikTok books. So if you're looking for a great romance author, I feel like you should check out Helen Hoang's books because they do not miss. Honestly, they do not miss. You will have a good time one way or another. They will not disappoint you. They will give you what you need and they will meet your expectations. I rated The Bride Test a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know what time is it. I feel like I've been yapping for over an hour. But I hope that you enjoyed listening to me talk about the books that I read in the second month of 2026. I hope that you were able to get some book recommendations from the books that I read. If you have any video suggestions, comment them down below. If you have any questions or thoughts about the books mentioned in this video, leave them down below as well. If I'm not on YouTube, I'm on TikTok and on Instagram at @𝐂𝐸𝐿𝐻𝐸. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. That's it for me. I am happy that we had a good reading month. 5 books in 1 month is a lot na for me. That's a lot more than what I read usually in a month. But what's surprising is for the month of March, I read 8 books. If you also want to hear about the 8 books that I read in March, do subscribe if you haven't yet. Comment down below that you want me to post that as soon as possible because we have a lot of vlogs that are needed to be posted pa. Let me know what content you would like to see next. And yeah, so that's all for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And always remember, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Bye!